Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. My name's Dale and at the minute we're in the invert room. It's a bit of a mess in here at the moment, so my next job's to, once I've got this all filmed, is to get this tidied up again. I keep tidying it up and then somehow it ends up in a state again, so I'm going to go through, clean it all up, get a few bits sorted out. Yeah, today is a bit of a rehouse and a bit of care on how I look after my seemanni. I'm putting it into a bioactive setup, so it's going to have a drainage layer, it's going to have the soil, I'm going to have moss in there. There's no plants in there, but there's going to be moss in there and isopods and springtails. I don't really need to do it at the minute because this isn't going to be its forever home. I've decided to do it. It helps. I find the bioactive and having that drainage layer helps with the more humidity dependent or moisture dependent species. I've done this, so I'm going to do it with a few more of my bigger tarantulas as well. Yeah, so we'll get on it. I'll stop waffling and we'll show you how it goes. So there's the enclosure all set up. I think that looks quite nice and it'll last it for a little while. I know at this stage it doesn't need a bioactive enclosure, but I thought I may as well just set it up this way. It's going to help keep the moisture in there that's needed. It's got the drainage layer in and wet at the corners as and when it needs to dry out. Because I've got the drainage layer, it'll be wet down there. The heat in the room, the moisture is going to come back up through the soil into the enclosure. I've damped down the moss. I'll probably spray the moss down, give it a brief spray probably once a week, something like that. And I think that's about it. It's like they say these need to be kept between 70 and 85 humidity, but I don't bother checking it as long as the bottom layers are damp. It's fine. We're okay. This is kept at 26 during the day, 23 during the night. I know a lot of people say that the seemanni is docile. I find this species a bit hit and miss. I found it some days, yeah, it's pretty docile. Don't really have any issues with it. Other days I find it's never flicked hairs at me, but I've found some days I definitely get a threat posture from it. Like I said, I wouldn't 100% trust it. I don't actually handle any of my tarantulas anyway, but I find they can be a little bit temperamental. But yeah, there, look, this beautiful tarantula. So let's get her back in there. I say her, I've not actually sexed this one yet. I've been meaning to sex it, and I was meant to sex it on its last molt, but I stupidly left the molt out on the side, and my dog ate it. So, is she gonna move? Let's see what I mean. I think you see there where she just turned towards the brush. She wasn't. She's getting ready to put up a fight there, I think, rather than just going off. Let's see if we can push her. I say push her. I'm just quite gently manoeuvring her off. As you can see, I've put a hide in there, but I found with this one, for the last since the last, she's molted twice, and since them last 2 molts, she hasn't used a hide at all. When she was younger, she used a hide quite a bit, so you do want to have a hide in these until they get to a certain size. You'll know, because they just stop using their hide completely. They're good feeders. She feeds well. It's not very often, unless in pre-molt, that this one will turn down any food. Yeah, this is quite a deep container, so I've probably got, what have I got in there? So I've got the clay balls at the bottom. I've probably got 3-4 inches of substrate in there, which is ideal because she's not really a, like I said, she doesn't use a hide, she don't burrow. It's mainly the depth of substrate is to help keep the humidity up in there. But yeah, they're amazing. Right, yeah, hope you enjoyed that. Went really well. Yeah, there was no real issues there. It's a stubborn spider, that, the seemanni. I found it stands its ground. If it don't want to move, it won't move, or it'll just fret pose you. It's never kicked hairs at me. I think I mentioned that in the video. I hope you liked how it looks. I think it looks really smart. I wish it was in something where, in a container where you could actually see through the sides into the enclosure, but I'm quite happy with it. I think that'll be good for the tarantula at the moment. It's it serves a purpose. I find there's the humidity, it's going to be easy to keep on control of because there's that layer of balls at the bottom. So you've got your drainage layer at the bottom, so the water can seep through and sit in there, and the clay balls, so they'll soak up some of the moisture. And what will happen is I've got quite a thick layer of substrate, and the heat will just the water will drain through the substrate, so it's not sat on the top. The soil's not soaking, it's not boggy in there, it's damp, which is what the tarantula wants, but it's not soaking. The water will drain through into that drainage layer, and then the heat will evaporate that water in the drainage layer, and it'll come back up through the soil. It'll keep the substrate nice and wet, and it'll also have the correct, or near enough correct, humidity level in the enclosure for it. Like I said, with these, they eat well. I've never really had any problems with it eating. It's like, I just know if it stops eating, it's in primo. I've not got any other worries about it. Like I've said in there as well, I wouldn't say it's docile. It has docile moments, but it also has moments where it's not. It's a bit hit and miss what you're going to get with it, so it's one to be careful of. But I don't actually handle any of the tarantulas, so I'm not going to have that problem. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed that. If you would subscribe and hit the like button and comment, that would be great, because it really helps. And I really appreciate everyone that has watches the videos and subscribed and all that. It's brilliant. It's going really well. I'm up to 90 something now, 90 something subscribers, and I didn't think I'd get this many. So far, we've been going since July, but yeah, like I said, thank you very much, and I hope to see you on the next video.